Hello everyone, Vita's A32 back with a look at this week's mail. And I got a couple decks and several games. I also got a couple of books, but we won't worry about that. The decks, if I can speak, sorry I'm tired. I've been working this week. Don't officially have a job, technically, but I guess I do. First, I got a deck here. It's a bicycle deck. It's from Jet Supply Co. Link will be in the description. You can get it on the website, or you can get it on Amazon. And the website does not ship internationally, at least not to Canada. So if you want to get it, you got to go to Amazon.com and order it there. And it is the Bicycle Wizards, Witches, and Warlocks deck. This is all about famous wizards and witches and warlocks. It's pretty cool, very nice. Designed by the same designer as their other decks. Then I have one that I got on Cartopia. It is the new bicycle prototype deck. Prototype, yet they printed a bunch and are selling them. And it is a purple Metalux foil deck, very nice and shiny. The cards are basically standard, but there's the backs, pretty cool. And then I got some games. First of all, a couple of games from Board Game Bliss, one of my favorite gaming shops. The first one is a little card game called Papagino, which is from Helvetic. This came out in, I'm not sure if it said, a couple years ago at least, and it is a new version of an older game called Paper Safari. It was pretty popular. It's a golf-based game where you're trying to have the lowest score possible. It's kind of cool. And then the other one I got from them is not a game but an expansion, the Cities of Splendor expansion for Splendor the game, which has 4 different expansions. I think it also has some promo cards. Pretty big box, but it's pretty cool. It came out, of course, it's from Space Cowboys, and it came out, what did it say? This is not a new release. It came out a few years ago. It just happened to be available at Board Game Bliss and was on sale. Trying to see if it says when it came out, but it didn't. So there's that. Then there's one I got on eBay, which I have subsequently been refunded on. It is a little game from Eagle Griffin Games, designed by Phil Harding, I believe it is. No, well, it's designed by David Harding, which I think is Phil Walker Harding. I can't recall for sure, but it's called 11s for 1. It's a little game where you're trying to serve tea. You're trying to basically, it's a solo game where you're trying to get cards in order, in numerical order. There's also non-solo versions, but I got this one because I like the look of it. This came out in 2015. It also supposed to include, this is why I got a refund, because it's supposed to include the Sid Saxon game, Bowling Solitaire. Sid Saxon, kind of a legend in board games from many, many years ago. Going back to like the 50s, 60s. And yeah, it was supposed to include Bowling Solitaire. It didn't. Also not a big fan. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like bubbles on the front. But there you go, you can see it right there. It's all bubbly. I don't know if that's water damage or what. But they just gave me a refund. This one can go away. I have reordered it from a seller on the Geek market that I'm familiar with. And I got more games here to talk about though. First of all, I also got a couple more games that I got on the Game Crafter. If you're not familiar with the GameCrafter.com, it's a website you can go to, and they have various decks of cards and card games and board games, and if you like games. If you like the decks of cards or games, you just order them, and then they will print them off and send them to you. It's a print on demand thing. So the first game I got is Lure. Not to be confused with one I got a few weeks ago. This is a different game for 2 to 5 players from a small company called 12tiles.com. And basically in this one you are luring animals with bait, different types of food like berries and root vegetables and grass and meat and perhaps mushrooms. And you can also trap them. And you're just trying to score the most points. It's a little set collection game. The other one I got from them is a game by Chris Ray, who doesn't have a card company, a game company name, with art by Megan Russell. This one just came out this year. Lure. This one, Lure, came out a few years ago. I don't think it says when it came out, but it's not recent. It's not new. It's not that old. But this one did come out this year. It's from Chris Ray. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. With art by Megan Russell. It's a little trick-taking game called Rewind. And in it, you can play a bunch of hands of trick-taking. And basically, you have a bunch of markers and a game board, and you're going to mark who comes in first, second, third, fourth in each trick. After you're done, you shuffle up the cards, redeal them, and now you work your way backwards trying to end up... Actually, sorry, you don't reshuffle and redeal. You take all the cards that you played. You're going to use the exact same cards. You take those cards again. You save them. And you're going to try to go rewind and do the same thing again. If you won the trick and got first, you're going to try to do that again. Whoever lost is going to try to lose it again. And you do that for all the tricks again. And then you see who wins, who did the best, basically. And it's a very interesting idea. I like it. Hopefully that makes sense. Then I got a game on Amazon. This is an older game. Came out in 1996 originally. This is probably a newer print. And it's from Wainwright. Very popular. Over 1 million copies sold. It's called Rat-a-Tat-Cat. It is another golf-based game. It's a Mensa Select winner, so it's pretty popular, pretty well-known, kid-friendly, it says. And yeah, it's basically just trying to have the lowest score at the end of the game. Kind of cool. And then I got a couple games here from Legends Warehouse. It's in a game shop here in Canada. The first one is from Devere. And apparently it has a little damage in the corner. And it says this product is not a toy. It kind of is. It's a card game. What was it called? Anyways, this came out 3 or 4 years ago, I want to say. It's called La Vina. It's a little card game where you're going to be collecting different types of grapes. There's some work placement, if I recall. And then you're going to be basically trying to collect different types of wine, make different types of wine with those grapes that you see it in action. Just, it's one that's kind of been on my radar for a few years. Designed by Jose Ramon Palacios. You can see the little damage in the corner. It is what it is. From Devere. And then I got one more from them as well. It's a bigger one. It's called Wild Space, which has a space theme. It's similar artwork to some other games I got. Cubosaurs and Cubirds, but it's not the same designer or artist. It's from Joachim Fohm. Illustrated art by Amelie Guinnett. And it is a game, it's a tactical card game. We're trying to combine cards into sequences. Basically, you're collecting cards, it's a space theme, and trying to create combos, and yeah, it seems pretty interesting. some more information. And this came out a couple years ago as well. This came out, does it say? 2020. Yeah, that's what I figured. And then one more. And this one was shipped to me by Board Game Bliss, but it was actually ordered on Allplay. And it's a little game called Panda Panda, part of their Tiny Box series of games. And it is a game designed by Kaya Miyano with art by Sai Beppu, who's done a number of card games at this point. And basically you're going to be drawing, discarding, and passing cards, trying to get a winning hand. These cards feature letters A through E on them, as opposed to like numbers or anything like that. So it's kind of interesting. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So that is that. Again, some Allplay. It just came out this year. So that is that. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. We'll see you next time for more. Thanks for watching. See ya.